Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today I decided to film my makeup in this public bathroom because a lot of people do their makeup in the bathroom even though I never do my makeup in the bathroom, and I wanted to do it in a bathroom with big mirrors and bright lights like you find in a public bathroom, so I decided to head over to my local mall and do it right here. Before anyone gets on my case about filming in a bathroom, the specific area where I was standing you can still see if you just walk past outside the bathroom, and thus this area is not a part where you can safely assume that you will have privacy, and thus I'm allowed to film here. And also everyone walking in can see the camera immediately, and everyone was aware of the fact that they were being filmed. That aside, I obviously started with my setting spray and spraying it all over my face. My setting spray works as a primer as well, so I use it for both. And then I used the stick foundation from Revolution Makeup and drew it on all over my face. To blend it out, I always start with a dual fiber brush first because a cream foundation is a bit harder to blend out. So with this I can buff it out all over my face, and quickly figured out that it hurts to blend over a sore wisdom tooth. For those of you that don't watch my vlogs, I have a wisdom tooth that hurt quite bad during the time I was filming this. And this was just before I started taking my antibiotics and pain pills, so it was still quite tender, and when I went over it with a brush, it hurt real bad. But after that I smoothed everything out with a beauty blender, going gently over the sore part of my face. While explaining to a friendly person using a sink why I'm doing what I'm doing, I proceeded to put concealer on. I'm using this one from ColourPop, and I'm applying it underneath my eyes, between my brows, on my eyelids, and around my mouth. I added a bit of this eyeshadow base because it's a darker color, and just mix the two colors together so that it matches me better. Then I went in with my beauty blender to blend it all out. This lady cleaning the bathroom and I were in the bathroom together for quite a while together because she was cleaning and I was doing makeup, so we kind of made friends when we were standing there. Even though I couldn't talk all that much because everything hurt while you were talking, but I set my face with this kabuki brush and setting powder, which I buffed in all over my face before going in again with some spray. But I don't want to spray before I'm done applying powders to my face, so I quickly went back and applied some blush, which unfortunately shattered in the move from town to town and traveling. But I put that on first, blended it out, made sure I was happy with all the powders on my face, and then set everything. Otherwise it kind of sticks too much and then you can't blend it out that well and it just looks too much. Next was my brows, and it was about the time that a movie came out. This bathroom is right next to the movie theater, so everyone walked straight out of the cinema into this bathroom, so I had quite a crowd moving behind me while I was doing my eyebrows. So I was very nervously pretending to mind my own business and filling in my brows and trying to not be awkward with so many people around me, especially kids. There were kids running around and I don't know how to deal with kids, but they were like low-key eyeing my makeup and what is she doing in their stage whispers, and I was just like, this is fine, everything's okay, don't mind the children. Moving on to eyes, I am using this Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and as usual I'm trying to give you a glimpse of where I'm filming with my mirror. I was pretty much just standing by the sinks and I had my phone balanced on a soap dispenser so that it was kind of eye level and I can film with it. Before I even came here, I had an idea in mind that I wanted to do and then forgot it while I was actually here. But I started with a brown color in my crease just to define my crease a bit and put that on my lower lash line as well as my base color to start it all off with. I'm then using a darker brown color to deepen it up, to add some definition, which is a word I'm sure you've heard me say 1,000 times because I love adding definition. But for this, I'm just using my fluffy blending brush and blending it into my crease and all that jazz. There was a little girl struggling with the soap dispenser and I offered to help, and then she figured it out just as I offered to help, and I was like, okay, awkwardly, don't mind me, this is fine. Next, I used a bit of a smaller blending brush and used that to just focus the dark brown color more on the inner part of my crease before going in with this teal-ish type of color. I picked it up on a flat shader brush and tried applying it all over my lid, but I quickly figured out that it applies much better with your finger than it does with a brush. I'm sure technically you could wet your brush and then use it, but I hate doing that because then the shadow looks all funny and then the brush is all dirty and everything's a lot more effort. So I just use my fingers and then I use my blending brush to blend it out a bit better. I then went in with a bit of a darker color and created a halo eye. Here I finally remember what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a halo eye with this mint green in it, but I entirely forgot that I brought the mint green. So here I was just trying to make the halo eye with the medium green and the dark green, and to make it as intense as I can with what I thought I had to work with. So I used this flat shader brush. I kind of angled it upwards to get the inner corners of my eyes, and then from the bottom to get the outer corners, and then just made sure to blend the edges. And of course, the same colors I was wrapping on my lower lash line to make sure I wasn't looking too top heavy. I did get some fallout, but nothing too hectic. It just looks bad with green because green looks unnatural compared to like brown or other colors you usually use. So it is a bit harder to blend out fallout from green, but it's not more than you'd expect. I used my lash glue that vanished on this day for a flat edge so that I can blend out my edge perfectly, and made sure everything was all cohesive looking before I went in with some eyeliner and colored in my waterline. I also tight lined because it's a habit by now. Moving on to actual eyeliner, I'm still using this liquid one by Wet n Wild if I remember correctly, and I'm just using it to line my lash line and to draw a wing. Next, I moved on to my lashes and curled them so that I can add some mascara, and also later when I apply my false lashes, so that you don't have like two layers of lashes, like one coming out straight and then one curling up from the falsies. It just looks better if you curl your lashes. So I curl them and then I put on a bunch of mascara, but nothing too clumpy because I knew I was going to be applying my false lashes later. And then here, I rediscovered that I brought my mint eyeshadow, which I was so excited to use. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then put that on the middle of the halo eye. And this brought in the contrast I was looking for. It was a bit difficult getting it equally in the middle on both sides. So just make sure you look at both eyes while you're doing it and not just doing one and then the other. And then because I covered my eyeliner with the mint green eyeshadow, I just had to redraw that line. Finally, onto lashes. I just leave them on the little plate you get them and then put the glue on like that, so they're not blowing around or moving around or anything. And then I leave them like that for a few seconds, blow on them a bit to just pass the time, and then I went closer to a different mirror in the background where I could see a little better to get those puppies on. It was a bit of a mission because I haven't worn lashes in a really long time, but I was quite happy with the way I got them on the end of the day. Deciding that everything looked good from a distance, I moved on to my lips, and I started with this pink lip liner and just lined my lips. I didn't want to go too nude, but I didn't want to go too bright pink either, so I colored in my lips with this color first and then decided this counted as too pink, so I put some concealer on my lips and blended it out with my beauty blender to get it a bit of a paler pink, which seems to be the road I always go down on when I'm wearing a dramatic eye. Next, for highlighter, I'm trying to use these two colors in the Urban Decay palette. This palette doesn't have an eyeshadow that works well as highlight, unfortunately. It doesn't shine too much and isn't that great, but I had to make do with what I had. And just followed that up with more setting spray. Finally deciding that I'm done with my makeup, I'm moving on to my hair. I'm taking off my sunglasses and undoing my hair, throwing it around a bit. I wanted to wear it down, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to wear it down. I didn't really style it, so it was kind of messy and all over the place, so I only had so many options. Tried giving it some volume, scratching at the roots a bit, tying up half of it, and that's ultimately what I decided on. I usually tie up half of my hair so it's not too in my face and it doesn't look like it's too much. I only pulled it through halfway for some reason. I've never done that before. But then my glasses went right back on, and that was the final look. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheerio!